Hey Devils fans, I'm Sam Kasan, and welcome to another edition of the Garden State Morning Skate, getting you all set for Game 5 of the opening round series between the Devils and Carolina Hurricanes here at the Lenovo Center. It's a 3-1 series. Devils' backs are against the wall in an elimination game, and obviously they want to come back into the series, but they're not looking at it as having to win 3 in a row. They're looking at it as winning just one game. That was the message from Andre Palat.
We just need to take it one game at a time. We need to bring the series back to Jersey, and we just need to start better than we did the last game.
Some interesting notes from the morning skate for Carolina. First of all, Freddie Andersen did not take part, and he is out tonight. Pyotr Kochetkov will get the start and goal, and the club recalled Spencer Martin to be the backup. For the Devils on the defensive side, no Brett Pesce or Jonas Siegenthaler at the morning skate. Both will be game-time decisions tonight, and depending on their availability, the rest of the defense core will be a game-time decision. One thing we might see, though, is rookie defenseman Seamus Casey making his NHL playoff debut, and as expected, he's quite anxious to get going.
It's what you dream about as a kid, getting a chance to play in the playoffs, and this is an exciting atmosphere to try to get a win on the road. So it's huge. To maybe get a chance would be awesome and a dream come true.
So the pressure's on for the Devils, but a man who never feels pressure, who's cooler than the other side of the pillow, that is Matty Loughlin. And bringing you back in, Matty, for another edition of our Morning Skate Report.
And let's hope it's not the last.
Yes. We've got at least 2 more, I'd say. First of all, the big news, Jonas Siegenthaler and Brett Pesce both did not participate in the morning skate. Both are game-time decisions tonight. How that affects the lineup, who knows? We'll see. But obviously, Seamus Casey was out there taking some reps. Chalowski was out there taking some reps. So how does this shake down for the defense corps?
Well, Brett Pesce is playing banged up. We know that, right? I mean, he has just given it his all. Earlier in the series, Sheldon said it was something that happened in Game 1 that has caused him to miss some practice time and morning skate time. So certainly we're hoping it's the same because he's just been like a rock out there for the Devils, but he is playing through some serious stuff. And as for Siegenthaler, don't know. I'm presuming it's just he's been back after a long layoff. 2 hard games, give him some time. So hopefully we see them both in the lineup because how many hits can one team take? Let's be honest. They've been able to battle through some of them, but now 2 more would just puts them behind the 8 ball.
But it is getting pretty ridiculous here.
Well, I mean, it is. It's just incredible. No Luke, no Dylan, and now if you can't play with Pesce and or Siegenthaler, just the pressure is enormous. And Carolina will pressure the Devils. They know that. And it's just not a good situation necessarily for the New Jersey Devils. So let's hope they're in. And as for Seamus Casey, the power play, let's face it, it's done nothing. Buck is 0 for 12. Only playoff team not to have a power play goal. You can't keep doing the same old. I like his mobility. I like his passing. I like his youthful enthusiasm.
Yeah.
So let's go. Let's see what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, I'd love to see him on the power play, especially they need a quarterback that can kind of move his body around and kind of get some rotation going. I think he'll kind of, if he's got the puck and he's moving around, he's going to force his teammates to move around with him. So I think that'll adds another element to the power play.
Yeah, and while he'll be under pressure, it'll be curious to see how Sheldon uses him 5-on-5 because we have seen teams challenge him when he's in the defensive zone. And sometimes he's not making the right play because everything's happening a little quicker. But the learning curve is underway, and so maybe he'll be better able to handle some of what Carolina will throw at him. That being said, he's got good mobility. He can skate out of some problems, and his passing is pretty good. So as long as he just doesn't have that deer in the headlights look, I hate to say that, but he's a young kid. It's his first playoff game. As long as he doesn't have that, he'll be fine.
And you'd love to get a power play goal tonight, certainly. Love to get a goal from the bottom 6 as well. I mean, they 5 games in now, well, 4 technically in. Still no goal production from the bottom 6. They need a little more out of that units.
They absolutely do. Now, I think some of what could aid them is just puck luck, which doesn't mean you're being lucky. It's not that you're not talented. It's just that the crazy bounce that puck can take goes your way, and one bounces over Kochetkov maybe and in a dump in that just takes a weird hop. That'll just ease some of the pressure. Overall, the Devils have been able to stay with Carolina except for the special team. So, yes, both would be very, very good to see. An improvement, goal scoring with the man advantage, and getting some help from other areas that have not been able to pitch in. I look for Stefan Nason to have a big game. He had the turnover. That led to the second goal in Game 4.
The offside.
Yeah, exactly. It just wasn't a good game for him. I look for a bounce-back game for him. He's not a bottom six guy, but at times he is. That's just the way the lineup is shuffled. But I look for him to have a game tonight.
Oh, you mentioned Kochekov, a young goaltender. Obviously, he's got 2 years of NHL experience under his belt, but only one game, well, 1.5 now, I guess, in the playoffs. Did get that goal early from Timo Meier that maybe he was a little flustered coming in there, but he obviously pulled it together and shut down after that. What are you expecting from him? Andersen did not skate. He's out tonight. I should note Spencer Martin recalled, so he'll back up, but Kochekov, the young guy, gets the bill.
Look, we'll know if it favors the Devils at the end of the night, but I do think it does favor New Jersey. He's not had great playoff experience. When he did play previously in the playoffs, not counting his most recent game, his playoff debut 2 seasons ago, the Devils lit him up for 4 goals. I know he's gotten better. He was their number 1 goalie in Andersen's absence this year, but there's a reason they started Andersen. They have more faith in him, and Rod Brindamore can say whatever he wants. He said this morning, well, we might have played Kochekov in tonight's game anyway. We were considering it. Okay, sure. I might be able to play in goal. Maybe that was in the game plan, too, on page 52 of the manual. So they're not going with their number 1 guy. He's got to feel a little pressure. He was good this year as their number 1 goalie. Not great. I say let's go. Let's pepper him with pucks. That's the thing that disappointed me in Game 4. They scored that first goal. It goes through his legs. Like, he's got to be thinking, what the heck is going on here? And they just weren't able to get more pressure on him. They didn't get guys in front. Credit Carolina. They defended well. They kept that front pretty locked out. There were no rebound tries for the Devils. I'd like to see more of that tonight.
Yeah, I think 5 hole's always the book on Kochekov. Go for that 5 hole and showed on that Timo Meier goal. All right, the Devils down 3-1 in this series.
Oh, and did I mention that earlier this year he didn't play well against us either in
there you go.
The season? So we may have his number a little bit.
So 3-1 series. You've covered a lot of hockey in your day, Matt. You've seen some 3-1s overcome throughout the day. It's not the most out of common thing. Of note, though, the Carolina Hurricanes are 7-0 when they lead 3-1 in a series. What's it going to take from the Devils to chip away at this and come back?
And chalk up the first L in Carolina history. I think it's one game at a time. I know that's a terrible cliche, but they can't think about, well, if we can get back home, and then the pressure's on them if we win, because that's Game 6, and then we're coming for anything can happen Game 7. I think gain a little confidence tonight. Play the steady game that they've played. Make Carolina think a little bit. Okay, now you've beaten Kochekov. He's our guy, but is he our guy? Our guy is out with whatever is ailing Freddie Andersen. So I think that's where it begins. It begins with on the ice. It goes through the ears. The home crowd, if we get there on Friday, will certainly be a lift for the Devils. And then it does become anyone's series in Game 7, though it still favors Carolina. Numbers show not only for them, but throughout league history, 3-1's a pretty insurmountable lead, but not impossible and certainly doable for the Devils.
So, Matty, that concludes Game 5. Shall we do it again for Game 6? Are you feeling good about it?
Let's go, baby. What are we doing on Friday? I got nothing planned. Golf season can wait.
That's right. Let's get one more in. Matt, thanks for your time.
You got it.
Puck drop tonight for Game 5 is at 7:30. You can catch it on MSG-SN, TBS, or Max, or you can listen on the Devils Radio Network. That'll do it for this edition. Hopefully we'll catch you again for Game 6 back in New Jersey.